The envelope was cream-colored, expensive paper, heavy. It arrived 3 days before my daughter's wedding, addressed to me personally. No return address. Inside was a single photograph and a note in handwriting I hadn't seen in 28 years. The photo showed my husband of 30 years, standing next to a woman I'd never seen, his arm around a teenage boy who had his exact same smile. The note said, "Thought you should know before you become grandparents. He's been paying for this son's college. Check your joint account. Elena." My hand started shaking so badly I dropped the photo. It fluttered to my kitchen floor, face up. That boy, that face. He had to be at least 19, maybe 20 years old. My name is Patricia Morrison. I'm 55 years old. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I just discovered my husband has a secret son who's older than our marriage problems and younger than our youngest daughter. We had what everyone called a picture-perfect marriage. David and I met in 1992 at a hospital fundraiser in Raleigh. He was a pharmaceutical sales rep. I was a nurse. We married in 1994, bought our first house in Charlotte in 1996. 2 daughters, Emily, born in 1997, and Sophie, born in 2000. David traveled for work, 2, sometimes 3 times a month. Cincinnati, Atlanta, Miami, Nashville. The territory, he called it. 30 years of those trips. 30 years of, "Sorry, honey, got to leave Sunday night, back Thursday." 30 years of me holding down the fort, raising our girls, working night shifts so I could be home when they got off school. We had our struggles. What marriage doesn't? The year Sophie was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and I couldn't work for 6 months. The time David's company downsized, and he was unemployed for 8 months. Money was tight sometimes, but we always figured it out. Our friends envied us. "You two are relationship goals," my friend Karen would say at book club. David coached Emily's soccer team. He taught Sophie to drive. He never forgot our anniversary. March 15th, every year, flowers delivered to the hospital nurses' station where I worked. But there were odd things. Looking back now, I see them clearly. The way he'd close his laptop quickly when I walked into his home office. How he insisted on handling all our finances alone. "You work so hard, Patty. Let me take care of the boring stuff." The phone calls he'd take outside, saying it was work stuff, HIPAA confidential. I trusted him. God, I was such a fool. It was April 2024. Sophie, our baby, was getting married to Jake, her college sweetheart. Wedding planned for April 27th. The house was chaos, dress fittings, caterer calls, out-of-town guests arriving. Emily was flying in from Seattle with her fiancé. My mother, my sister, David's brother's family. A beautiful outdoor wedding at the Daniel Stowe Botanical Garden. I was happy, stressed, yes, but happy. My last baby girl, getting married. Then that envelope arrived on April 24th. I sat on my kitchen floor for 20 minutes just staring at that photograph. The boy in the picture was tall, maybe 6'2". Dark hair like David's, that same crooked smile. He was wearing a University of Tennessee t-shirt. They were standing in front of what looked like a dorm building. The woman, Elena, had her hand on his shoulder. She looked my age, maybe younger. Pretty in a worn-down way. I picked up the photo with trembling hands and looked closer. There was a date stamp in the corner, September 2023, 6 months ago. The note said to check our joint account. I grabbed my laptop from the counter, fingers fumbling on the keys. Bank of America, password. The account we'd shared for 30 years. At first, everything looked normal. Mortgage payment, electric bill, car insurance. Then I saw it, a recurring payment. Every single month for the last 20 years, $1,500 to someone named Elena Vasquez, $1,800. Every month for 20 years. I did the math in my head. $360,000. $360,000. My stomach lurched. I barely made it to the sink before I threw up. I went back to the laptop, scrolled further. There were more. Payments labeled tuition, $8,000 here, $12,000 there. A $25,000 payment last August labeled UT Housing, University of Tennessee. The shirt in the photo, I printed everything, page after page of bank statements, 20 years of payments, 20 years of my husband sending money to another woman, to their son. David was upstairs getting ready for the rehearsal dinner. We were supposed to leave in 2 hours. Sophie's rehearsal dinner at the Fig Tree restaurant. 25 people, lobster and champagne. I heard him walking down the stairs. "Patty, you ready? We need to leave in an hour." He walked into the kitchen, saw me standing there, printed bank statements spread across the counter, the photograph in my hand. His face went white, completely white, like someone had drained all the blood from his body. "Patty, I can explain. You have a son." My voice didn't sound like mine. It was cold, dead. "It's not what you think. You have a son. He's 20 years old. You've been paying $2,500 a month for 20 years, plus college tuition. What part am I not understanding correctly?" He reached for me. I stepped back. Don't you dare touch me." David tried to explain. We sat at that kitchen table, the same table where we'd eaten 30 years of dinners, where our girls had done their homework, where we'd made plans and laughed and lived our life. And he told me the truth. Elena Vasquez. He'd met her in 2003 on a sales trip to Knoxville. One night, he said, just one night, she'd gotten pregnant. She kept the baby, a boy named Marcus. She never asked him to leave me. She just asked for support. One night, I laughed. It came out hysterical. "You expect me to believe 20 years of payments came from one night?" He looked down. That's when I knew. "How long?" I asked. The affair ended in 2007. 4 years. He'd had a 4-year affair. While I was home with our 2 young daughters, working night shifts, packing school lunches, he was in Knoxville with Elena and their son. "Did you love her?" He didn't answer. That was answer enough. The rehearsal dinner. We had to go to Sophie's rehearsal dinner. Our daughter was getting married in 3 days. I looked at David and made a decision. We're going to that dinner. We're going to smile. We're going to get through this wedding. And then you're moving out. He opened his mouth to protest. "No, you get 3 days. 3 days to pretend for our daughter. Then I want you gone." We went to the dinner. I don't remember a single thing about it. I smiled. I hugged people. I toasted the happy couple. David sat next to me, his hand on my knee under the table. I wanted to break his fingers. That night, after everyone left, I started digging. David fell asleep. The bastard actually fell asleep. And I went through everything. Every credit card statement, every bank record, every receipt I could find. The rabbit hole went deeper. There were other payments, cash withdrawals, $500 at a time. Birthday, Christmas, emergency, hotel rooms in Knoxville, not just 2003, 2007, recent ones, 2019, 2021, 2023. He'd been seeing them, seeing his other son. For 20 years, he'd had this whole other life. Birthday parties I knew nothing about, Christmas presents, high school graduation. I found a photo on his phone, David in cap and gown with Marcus at his high school graduation in 2022. While I was home, alone, he was playing father to another family. I called my sister at 3 a.m. "Linda, I need you to come over tomorrow. I need help." She came. We went through everything together. She held me while I cried. She helped me take photos of every document. She suggested I call a lawyer. "Not yet," I said, "after the wedding." The wedding day was April 27, 2024, a beautiful Saturday. Perfect weather, 72 degrees, sunny. Sophie looked gorgeous. Emily was crying as she fixed her baby sister's veil. My mother kept saying how proud Dad would be. My father had died in 2019. I looked at David in his tuxedo and felt nothing but rage. We got through the ceremony, the photos, the reception. David danced with Sophie. Father-daughter dance, butterfly kisses. I watched him cry, holding our daughter, and wanted to scream. How dare he cry? How dare he pretend to be a good father when he had another son he'd hidden for 20 years? The last guest left at midnight. We drove home in silence. Emily and Sophie were staying at the hotel with their partners, leaving early for the honeymoon and back to Seattle respectively. We walked into the house. I closed the door, turned to face him. "I want you out tomorrow. Patty, please, we can fix this." Fix this? You had a 4-year affair. You have a 20-year-old son. You've stolen $360,000 from our marriage. You attended his high school graduation while lying to me about a sales conference. What exactly do you want to fix? I love you. I've always loved you. You love me? You love me? My voice was getting louder. I didn't care. You've been living a double life for 20 years. Did you love me when you were in Knoxville celebrating Marcus's birthday? Did you love me when you were helping him move into college? Did you love me every time you lied about where you were? It wasn't like that. Then what was it like, David? Explain it to me. Make me understand how you could look at me every day, sleep next to me every night, and keep this secret. He had the audacity to look hurt. I wanted to tell you so many times, but you didn't. 20 years, you didn't tell me once. I was afraid of losing you. Well, congratulations, you've lost me anyway. He started crying. Actual tears. Please don't do this. Think of the girls. The girls? The girls are grown. They're going to find out their father has a secret brother their age. How do you think that's going to feel? Oh, and by the way, that secret brother's college education cost more than both of theirs combined, because you gave him everything while telling Emily she had to take out student loans. That hit him. I saw it on his face. You told Emily we couldn't afford to pay for all of grad school. You said money was tight. She has $40,000 in student loans, David. $40,000, while you were paying for Marcus's entire ride at Tennessee. I'll make it right. You can't. You can never make this right. David moved out on April 29, 2024. My sister Linda came over and we watched him pack his things. He kept trying to explain, to apologize. I wouldn't listen. You have 3 minutes to be gone, or I'm calling the police and reporting you for financial fraud. He left. The next day, I told the girls. Conference call. Emily in Seattle. Sophie on her honeymoon in Aruba. I didn't want to do it over the phone, but I couldn't wait. I couldn't have them hearing it from someone else. Sophie screamed. Actually screamed. That's not true. Dad wouldn't do that. Emily was quiet. Then she said, I knew something was wrong. I always knew. They both blamed me at first. How could I ruin Sophie's wedding? Why did I wait? Why didn't I tell them before? I sent them the documents, the photos, the bank statements, everything. Sophie called back 2 hours later, crying. I'm so sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry. Emily wanted to know about Marcus. Do we have a brother? Like, really? I guess you do. The divorce proceedings started in May. David wanted to work things out. My lawyer, a shark of a woman named Rebecca Chen, laughed at him. Your client committed financial fraud for 20 years. My client is being very generous, not pressing charges. North Carolina is an equitable distribution state, not community property, but David had used marital funds for his affair and secret child. Rebecca argued that he owed me restitution for the $360,000 plus college tuition, over $500,000 total. We settled in August. I got the house, completely. He had to refinance it in his name only and sign it over. I got 70% of his 401k. I got the newer car. He kept his pension and his current salary, but he had to pay me $3,000 a month in alimony for 10 years. But I'm still paying Elena, he protested. Not my problem, Rebecca said sweetly. The girls eventually met Marcus. Elena reached out through Facebook. She apologized. She'd sent the photo because she thought I knew. She'd believed David when he said he'd told me years ago. She'd sent the photo because Marcus wanted to attend Sophie's wedding, and she thought I should know first. Marcus seems like a nice kid. He's studying engineering. He wants a relationship with his half-sisters. Sophie's not ready. Emily's trying. I haven't met him. I'm not ready for that. My friends rallied around me. Karen from book club? She'd known David was lying. She'd seen him once in Knoxville with another woman and a kid back in 2015. She'd thought I knew. She'd thought maybe it was an open marriage situation. "Why didn't you tell me?" I asked. "I thought you knew. I thought you'd made peace with it." "Nobody tells you the truth. Everybody assumes. Everybody protects the lie." It's been 6 months since I found that photograph. 6 months since my perfect marriage exploded on my kitchen floor. I'm still angry. Some days, I'm so angry I can't breathe. I look at 30 years of my life and see nothing but lies. Every anniversary, every Valentine's Day, every "I love you," were any of them real? But I'm also free. Is that terrible to say? I'm free from the lies. Free from the man who looked at me every day and lied to my face. Free from wondering why I always felt like something was wrong. I've started therapy. My therapist says I did nothing wrong, that his affair, his lies, his secret family, none of that is my fault. Some days I believe her, some days I don't. Emily came to visit last month. She's pregnant, first grandbaby. She asked if I wanted Marcus at the baby shower. "It's not his fault his father is a liar," she said. She's right. It's not his fault. None of this is his fault. Maybe someday I'll be ready to meet him. Today is not that day. I go to work. I see my daughters. I'm planning a trip to Ireland next spring. Something I always wanted to do, but David never wanted to travel internationally. I'm learning to be Patricia, not David's wife. Some nights I still wake up angry. I think about confronting Elena, demanding to know why she kept his baby. But what's the point? She made her choices. He made his. I can only control mine. My choice is to move forward, to rebuild, to find out who I am without the weight of his lies. It's hard. It's so damn hard. But I'm doing it. What would you do if you discovered your spouse had a secret child for 20 years? Could you forgive? Would you want to meet the child? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this story touched your heart, subscribe for more real-life stories about betrayal, secrets, and second chances. These stories remind us that we're not alone in our struggles and that rebuilding, no matter how impossible it seems, is always possible. Thanks for listening to this story. See you in the next one.